Yo, what's good, everyone? Your boy Deke back again with another vid. Let me start with this. I find it hilarious. It took a preseason game for people to start complimenting Ben Roethlisberger for the first time in essentially 9 months. I also find it hilarious. People were surprised by this performance. I don't know what the hell else you were expecting from a Hall of Fame quarterback. I have no clue. Who still has it? Or at least that's what people that were supporting Ben were saying literally the whole offseason. Listen, I get it. I'm a big-time 7 fan, but I can't stress this enough. Let me say it again. I'm a goddamn broken record. In 2020, he's a season removed from borderline career-ending elbow surgery. Had the worst running game in the NFL over the past 50 years. Had a bad offensive coordinator. Had a bottom 3 offensive line. And easily led the league with the most drops for the Steelers receiving corps. That was his 2020 season. Yet, still threw for 33 touchdowns, 6th most in the NFL, played only in 15 games, led the team to 11-0 record, was legitimately in MVP discussions. People want to say he faded, this and that. He had a bad Bills game, he had a bad Bengals game. Because do you want to say he necessarily faded when he threw for 500 yards in a wild card game? Not saying he had the best game. Not saying it was an optimal game. Not even saying it was like that good of a game. But a dude just doesn't throw for 500 yards and 4 touchdowns and doesn't have it anymore. Also, his last regular season game, he completely dominated the second half versus the Indianapolis Colts, a playoff team. So those were his last 2 games. Sure. Had a bad Bills game, had a bad Bengals game. But I just gave you his last 2 games of the season. Yet, everyone was saying he's washed, he's done, this and that. Doesn't deserve a second chance. They want to rush him out of here really quick for either a rookie quarterback, Mason Rudolph, Dwayne Haskins, and that's based off what exactly? I don't know. I have no clue. But I just went through the dude having the 6th most touchdowns in the NFL last year, 33. We won the AFC North, threw for 500 yards in his last game. I don't get it. This year, he has a new offensive coordinator, supposed to be innovative. We drafted the best running back coming out of college football. Drafted another weapon, which shouldn't hurt a quarterback's cause, in Pat Freiermuth in the 2nd round. Got younger on the offensive line, which in my opinion couldn't get worse from last year's offensive line. I get there was uncertainty there, but I honestly think our offensive line was that bad. And also an extra year removed from that surgery, which makes me think the arm would just continue to get better and better. So, what the hell else did you expect him to do yesterday? Dude balled out last year with minimal help outside a wide receiver. But people don't want to learn from history. They just want to have a hot take, flip-flop with their takes like the wind, and don't understand that, hey, a game doesn't necessarily predict out what the future could be or a moment in time. Like, there's something called track record, and there's something called, hey, I'm looking at this quarterback. He can still throw. He can still throw. So I don't see why we would consider him washed. I'm going to sound like a broken record again on this. But when you have a Hall of Fame quarterback who still has it, you don't take that for granted, which is what a lot of, not only the NFL, but Steeler Nation has done throughout this whole offseason. And I'll say this again. I've been saying this all offseason. 2019 Aaron Rodgers, 2019 Tom Brady. But look how the season ended for Big Ben. I just talked about that. I just talked about how dude still threw for 500 yards, 4 touchdowns. Dude still balled out in the Colts game in his last 2 games of the year. With all the things, all the factors on offense that I've already listed. It's also called a quarterback can have a bad game, a bad moment, a stretch, and not be done. We saw it multiple times from Tom Brady last year. We saw it even from Aaron Rodgers last year. But we also saw it from 2019 Aaron Rodgers and 2019 Tom Brady. They had worse seasons statistically than Ben Roethlisberger in 2020. What happened? Green Bay, they drafted quarterback in Jordan Love in the first round. Thinking about their future. What happens with Aaron Rodgers? Wins an MVP. New England Patriots, fine with getting rid of Tom Brady. The national media, fine with calling Tom Brady washed, saying he needs to ride off into the sunset and retire. Don't forget about his wild card game in 2019. Looked pretty bad. No? But again, it's a game. It's a game still. Anyone that watched Tom Brady knew that he could still throw the ball. Anyone that watched Big Ben in 2020, he can still throw the ball. He's fine. Maybe he needs some help around him. Maybe. Just maybe. This is a name that is not brought up a lot, but for the point, Russell Wilson last year. Didn't finish out the season so strong. Had a terrible playoff game. Seahawks fans trying to run him off. They want to trade him. No, they're begging him to come back. I think it might be time more Steeler fans, general media, maybe could show Ben Roethlisberger the same type of respect. I said he was going off this year before yesterday's game. I placed a $100 bet. I think it was $100. It might have been $111 for him to win the MVP. I think he's going to be in the conversation. A preseason game doesn't change that for me. All I was looking for was for him to come out of the game healthy. That's it. Could have went 2 for 5 for 25 yards. Did not matter. Yet, I wasn't surprised by his performance. Unfortunately, others, they can't stay the same. Oh, yeah. So this is a preview for the whole game yesterday. The O-line looked good. Najee looked good. Shout out to Deontay, Pat Freiermuth. And defense was pretty decent in the first half. So I hope you guys enjoyed my Steelers-Lions recap. Stay chillin' and peace.